Hello, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Unreasonable Clout Podcast. I know it's been over a month, almost a month and a half, or probably closer to a month and a half since I released an episode or even filmed one. Thank you for bearing with me and being patient. If you guys haven't found out already, my mother actually did pass away on December 12th. So thank you for giving me time to spend with my family as we're going through the process still of burying my mother and all that. So thank you guys for all the support, for being there, for understanding, even though you guys still blow up my inbox. Unfortunately, in tragic situations like this, in your personal life, the world actually does continue on. So instead of getting all depressed and sad or anything, or laying anything more like that on you guys, I want to give you guys what the people deserve, which is this news. So the last episode that we filmed was actually on the fraud in Minnesota, the deep rooted fraud in Minnesota. Go ahead and check out the last episode if you haven't. This video is actually, and this episode is going to be more of a reaction video. We're going to be reacting to a lot of videos. Unfortunately, there's still a lot of mayhem happening in Minnesota. Obviously, the Renee not so good shooting. So we're just going to kind of bypass that. I'm not saying that it's old news, it's still relevant, but there is a more recent shooting which has to do with Tom Pretti. So this guy, I'm not going to show any clips of the shooting or anything like that. You know, I'm still building up my YouTube channel, not trying to get a strike or anything like that. So maybe on another day when more evidence comes out, we're going to go and maybe watch that video, or I don't know. It's probably bypassed that. There's a lot of other news. So there's these riots and there's all these protests peacefully, supposedly, in Minnesota. So, but first, before that, I want to get into a very funny video that we're going to react to. So let's check it out real fast. In just a second. Bada bing, bada boom. And right here, recent news. Ilhan Omar was actually giving a speech at a town hall in Minneapolis, or I don't know if it was in Minneapolis, but it was in Minnesota, when a guy squirted a stinky substance on her mid-speech. So let's go ahead and check that out really fast. Give me just a second. All right, so let's check it out.
ICE cannot be reformed. It cannot be rehabilitated. We must abolish ICE for good. And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign or face impeachment.
Oh. Hold on, let's run that back. This is something, it seems staged to me. It really seems staged, because why was she going to go blow for blow with this guy? It just seems like it was set up to seem like she's a tough girl or something like that. I don't know, but let's check this out again. Squirt, squirt. Wonder what it was. She's trying to be like a tough chick or something. I don't know. Listen to the reactions. He sprayed something on her. Sounds real scripted.
No, we will continue. No. Ilhan, you need to go get checked. No, we will continue this. We're not going to get away with it. You need to go get checked.
Yeah. She said you need to go get checked. Yeah, so some type of mysterious substance. I'm not sure what it is, but that's pretty crazy. Pretty funny, I'm not gonna lie. I just wanted to start it off with this, but we're gonna go straight into the next video we're gonna react to. Or actually, this is an article right here. We're gonna go straight into the shooting, Tom Pretti. And let's see what the reports are saying. So Tom Pretti's killing was caught on body-worn cameras. Will the footage be released? The cameras could offer the closest picture yet of what happened when Alex Pretti was fatally shot. So Let's read the article. So the Department of Homeland Security reportedly has body-worn camera videos of 37-year-old nurse Alex Pretti being fatally shot by a federal agent in Minneapolis, an incident that immediately sparked protests in frigid temperatures in the Midwestern city. Pretti was shot and killed on Saturday, January 24th, after intervening when a federal agent shoved a woman. The shootings came just weeks after ICE agent Jonathan Ross fatally shot Renee Not So Good Nicole Macklin. Whatever. I don't know. Renee Nicole Macklin Not So Good. Whatever her moniker is, and deepened the already tremendous tensions in the state surrounding Trump administration's immigration enforcement. Multiple bystander videos recorded on cell phones quickly made the Veteran Affairs nurse death a national flashpoint, and sworn testimony from witnesses provided detailed accounts of what happened. But the body-worn cameras could offer the closest picture yet and show how Pretti went from a bystander recording a video of his own to being shot and killed in the city where he lived. So this is another situation where somebody interjects and intervenes in federal law enforcement business. And personally, I'm not saying that they deserved to die. Nobody deserves to die. But when you F around, you're going to find out. Just plain and simple, So you can't arm yourself and approach federal officers aggressively and antagonize. Then when someone dies, says he had the weapon for defense. Because you're causing a situation and bringing it upon yourself, similar to the Renee Not So Good situation. So as you've seen in the video, the ICE agent shoved a woman. Tom Pretti, I don't know, they want to try to call him a hero. He was trying to help the woman. It kind of looks weird. He's like tugging her, dragging her. I'm not sure. It doesn't look like he's really trying to help her, honestly. I'm not sure what was going through his mind. But anyway, the whole main point is he intervened in the business of federal officers. So I don't care if you're helping a woman. Let the federal officers do what they need to do. Let them do their job. Record from the sideline like everybody else who recorded your death. Pretty much. So just, stick to what you know best so you don't get harmed and you can go home back with your little family or whatever you had at home. That's personally what I said. So we're going to get into the next video reaction. This is Mayor Frey. This is what he had to say. This is the famous quote. So let's see what he had to say right here.
Themselves. There's little I can say again that
Hold on, one thing.
Situation.
The woman who's doing the sign language. You see her with Tim Walz. You see her with Jacob Frey, the mayor of Minneapolis. She bald as hell. I just got to say it. I got to throw it out there. Bald as hell.
Better, but I do have a message for our community, for our city, and I have a message for ICE. To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here.
Stupid.
Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite. People are being hurt. Families are being ripped apart. Long-term Minneapolis residents that have contributed so greatly to our city, to our culture, to our economy are being terrorized, and now somebody is dead.
You are fake news.
This guy, man, he's trying to act like a tough guy, which I understand. Just being around tough people, I wouldn't consider myself really tough. It is what it is. I handle myself when it comes to whatever situation approaches me. But being around tough guys and being raised around tough guys and being in some tough situations, this guy's a fraud. He's as fraudulent as the funds that are being sent from Somalian residents to Al-Shabaab. Plain and simple. He's just a fraudulent character. He's acting like the whole city, the whole state is being victimized. This is something that I just can't rock with. Yeah, he's a fraud, man. I know a real tough guy when I see him, man. This guy is tripping. One thing about this, see, when it comes to language like Jacob Frey or Fry, whatever, he seems fried out of his brain. Um, it's the not the language, but it's what he's saying that's the Democrats are telling folks to fight back. What do you think is going to happen? Plain and simple. The left needs to show us these effects of their rhetoric in order to implement their ideologies. Plain and simple. So that's why they ask, why are they showing us these things? It's because they need Americans to see these shootings and this violence that's being caused by their rhetoric so they can implement their power and their ideologies and stuff. So let's go to Christy Nome, her press conference on the Alex Pretti shooting.
As we go through this next week. But before I take any questions and give more details on the storm and its impact, I do want to address the tragic situation that we saw in Minneapolis today that unfolded on the streets.
It is tragic.
It occurred with DHS law enforcement as they carried out their lawful duties to keep Americans safe in the threat of criminal illegal aliens in this country. At 9:05 a.m., Central Time, the Department of Homeland Security law enforcement officials and officers were conducting targeted operations in Minneapolis against an illegal alien who...
I want to make it clear. He definitely was intervening because, as you heard Christy Nome saying, that they were conducting investigations on an illegal alien. So that's what the media is not showing.
His criminal history included domestic assault with intentionally inflicting bodily harm, disorderly conduct, and driving without a
Violent
valid
criminal,
license.
violent illegal
An
alien.
individual approached U.S. Border Patrol officers with a 9mm semi-automatic handgun. The officers attempted to disarm this individual, but the armed suspect reacted violently. Fearing for his life and for the lives of his fellow officers around him, an agent fired defensive shots. Medics were on the scene immediately and attempted to deliver medical aid to the subject, but he was pronounced dead at the scene.
Dead at the scene.
Stupid.
Yeah, so unfortunately, a death had to occur. Well, I wouldn't say it had to, but a death did occur. Now, a lot of people don't understand. Oh, well, he didn't come up toting the gun. Well, it doesn't matter. There was a gun present. If you're going to bring a gun to the protest, I would say do not approach federal officers or any type of law enforcement aggressively. So don't interject yourself in law enforcement business or federal officers' business. Plain and simple. Stay on the sidelines. If you want to record and yell and scream, that's fine. Don't get in close distance right there, especially if they see your gun, dude. I'm not saying that they're going to strip you of your gun, but it's going to pose a threat. Plain and simple. So as you heard Jacob Frey, and I'm pretty sure you've seen a lot of clips of Tim Walz as well. Tim Walz, him just pretty much saying a lot of this rhetoric, saying ICE needs to get out, blah, blah, blah. ICE aren't law enforcement. So these citizens are taking it upon themselves to treat them like they're not law enforcement, like they're Gestapo or whatever they want to say, which is ridiculous. That's actually offensive to Jewish people and everything that they had to go through in the Holocaust. That's a different story. So we're not going to get into that on YouTube. But all this behavior by the citizens is being encouraged by the Minnesota officials. Plain and simple. Let's hear what Caroline Leavitt had to say on the White House press briefing.
By this storm. I would also like to address the chaotic scenes in Minnesota over the weekend. Nobody in the White House, including President Trump, wants to see people getting hurt or killed in America's streets. This includes Renee Good, Alex Pretti, the brave men and women of federal law enforcement, and the many Americans who have been victimized at the hands of illegal alien criminals. Saturday's shooting remains under active investigation by Homeland Security Investigations and the FBI. The Customs and Border Protection is also conducting their own internal review. As President Trump said yesterday, the administration is reviewing everything with respect to the shooting, and we will let that investigation play out. But let's be clear about the circumstances which led to that moment.
Listen to the
on
details.
Saturday.
Details are key.
This tragedy occurred as a result of a deliberate and hostile resistance by Democrat leaders in Minnesota. For weeks, Governor Walz and the Mayor Jacob Fry and other elected Democrats were spreading lies about federal law enforcement officers who are risking their lives daily to remove the worst criminal illegal aliens from our streets.
So time and time again, that's gonna be the main phrase. Do not interject or impede on federal officials' business, and you'll remain alive. How simple is that? Get it through your heads. We're just gonna keep moving on. Let's see, we got an article, or what's this? Okay, so Governor Peggy, I guess, supposedly she's found a signal. Let's see. So you guys heard of Signal, right? So it's the app that officials use. We're gonna see if we find it right now. Hold on. All right. So let's check it out. So supposedly the lieutenant governor of Minnesota, she's been named as an admin to one of these Signal chats that are how would you say, they're pretty much preparing for these protests, putting them together. She's an admin supposedly. This is allegedly. So the names mentioned in the post include Amanda Kohler, described as a campaign advisor to Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, Peggy Flanagan, which is the lieutenant governor of Minnesota, and Anita Smithson, a candidate for Minnesota State Senate. So this is what the post said. Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan is one of the admins of Signal Chat. This means the state of Minnesota is behind the protest. It's not organic. It's an insurrection at the very top. So this is her. She's not really too good looking. These claims have not been verified independently. The Signal's group existence, its supposed members, and the actions attributed to it could not be confirmed. None of the individuals mentioned has publicly stated that they are part of such a group. So, yeah, that's something that may come out soon. More details if an investigation is being. Oh, but I do want to show you guys something. Cam Higbee. So this is what he discovered. He infiltrated this, not this specific one, but a Signal group. Let's just watch it.
Cam Higbee just exposed the Signal group chat that all these protesters in Minneapolis have been using to communicate with each other. I know many of us have always thought it's so strange how these people can just flock to all these different locations in the city so fast. The left tries to say it's like organic. Oh, they're just showing up for their community. This is literally just names of people in this chat. Hundreds of names of people communicating with each other. Like, it just keeps going. Like, right here, we're only at K right now. This is how many names are in this list. They have these little symbols next to their name in this chat to show what they do in this movement. So you have license plate checkers, dispatch, mobile patrol. Here they have an actual place where you can put in people's license plates that you suspect could be ICE.
Trying to keep tabs.
You see a vehicle that just happens to look like an ICE vehicle, you can put it in, and a bunch of other protesters will see it eventually and just harass the shit out of them. One of the last things he showed was this message saying, "Home base is expecting me." He was not able to figure out what home base is, and I don't think anyone else has either. But this really just shows how organized these people are. I've said it before and I'll say it again. These people clearly either have no jobs and just live off the government, or they're getting funding from somewhere to be able to.
I don't know who's the funding's coming from. Sounds like some type of George Soros operation or something similar. So, another story, Donald Trump. He got a call from Tim Walz, Tampon Tim. Let's check it out. Trump tweeted, Governor Tim Walz called me with a request to work together with respect to Minnesota. It was a very good call, and we actually seem to be on a similar wavelength. I told Governor Walz that I would have Tom Homan call him, and that we are looking for any, and that what we are looking for are any and all criminals that they have in their possession. The governor very respectfully understood that. And I will be speaking to him in the future. He was happy that Tom Homan was going to Minnesota, and so am I. We have had such tremendous success in Washington, D.C., Memphis, Tennessee, New Orleans, Louisiana, and virtually every other place that we have touched. And even in Minnesota, the crime is way down, but both Governor Walz and I want to make it better. President Donald Trump. Now, it seems like Governor Walz, Tampon Tim, I would like to call him, as you can see. We got Tampon Walz right there on the LED. Seems like he's flipping the script. Seems like he needs some help. Seems like he wants some help. Even though he's going to be resigning after this, he's not going to be running for governor again, of course. So back to Signal, though. That was something I wanted to interject. So back to Signal. Let's check out. This is one of the things that was found in the Signal chat. So there's something called, when it comes to this ICE stuff, they say salute, which is these liberals. So the S stands for seasoned strength. It's critical to report how many ICE federal agents and vehicles you see. If there are any different law enforcement agencies or local groups, note the number of agents and agencies involved. So the S stands for size and strength. I think I said seasoned strength, but size and strength. And then the A stands for activity and action. What is happening? A traffic stop is ICE targeting specific individuals, blah, blah, blah. The L stands for location. Where did you see ICE? The U stands for uniform. Specify what agents are wearing. Are they wearing civilian clothing, uniforms, or vests, blah, blah, blah. The T stands for time and date. One of the most critical pieces of information to note when reporting or posting about ICE sightings is the time and date ICE was spotted. And now the E stands for equipment and weapons. Are ICE agents carrying weapons? Identify any equipment. So that all spells salute. So that was also found in the Signal chat. We're going to go. So after Tim Walz flipped the script, now seems like he's losing a lot of Minnesotans or Minnesotians, whatever, the fraudsters, the liberals, the soy boys, the Karens. So this is outside of Tim Walz's office. Soon as they caught word that Tim Walz is actually bending the knee to Trump. Let's check it out.
What do we want? ICE out. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? ICE out. When do we want it? Now. Whose house is this? Our house. Whose house is this? Our house. Whose house is this? Our house. All right. I want all of you to know we are demanding that the governor, as he meets with Homan and other federal officials, to know that Minnesotans are not going to allow any less other than justice for Renee and justice for Alex.
Power to the people! Power to the people! No one is illegal! No one is illegal! Power to the people!
All right. Power to the. All right. Anyway, so how much that looked pretty peaceful, but that was a small fraction of what's going on in Minnesota. So how long and how much of this violent protesting has to go on? I guess we found our answer. Tim Walz is bending the knee, but it looks like that the violence is probably not going to stop, especially after this. They probably feel like, I'm talking about liberals, they feel like their back is against the wall. Tim Walz, their own governor, doesn't have their back. That's what it's seeming like to them. So now let's go on to the next. Let's see, we got another video. Okay, so this is what Minnesota's looking like. Like a freaking third world country, dude. Looks like a homeless encampment. Looks like Skid Row in the snow. They're rallying up outside of a hotel that they think ICE is at. Or probably, maybe they are. I don't know. Border Patrol. Get them, boys. Hook them and book them. Ooh. Toss the smoke bomb. Flashbang. Uh-oh. Yeah, so that's what's going on in Minneapolis, Minnesota, or I'm not sure if that's in Minneapolis, but in Minnesota in general. They're turning it into a hellhole. They're turning it to a third world country in some portions. That's what it looks like. Homeless encampment. It looks like G Street right here in Fresno where I'm at, but with snow. Looks wild, man. And if I was Tim Walz, I would have definitely begged for help sooner. Plain and simple. So in the comments below, what do you guys think about what's going on in Minnesota as of late? Tim Walz bending the knee. And now I guess Trump is going to somewhat de-escalate Border Patrol now that Tim Walz said he's going to allow the police, the local law enforcement, to do their actual job. It's crazy. I wish I had the video to react to it. Tim Walz actually brought in the National Guard, but they were just handing out coffee and donuts. Matter of fact, I'll play a clip right here.
We wanted to share a moment today that relieved some tension in the air.
Our cameras caught National Guard members at the Whipple Federal Building handing out donuts, coffee, hot chocolate to demonstrators and others gathered outside. A guardsman on the scene told us this is their demonstration of safety and security and that they're here to help. A small gesture that went a long way.
As you can see, coffee and donuts. It's crazy. So that was Tim Walz's big move. Now he's bending the knee. So let me know in the comments below what you think about the latest. Do you have any predictions? Do you have any comments about the shooting or anything like that? Let's see. If I had anything else. Okay, we talked about the salute chart, Cam Higbee, Donald Trump's tweet with Tim Walz. We've seen the mob of the video outside of Tim Walz, so they're flipping it on him now. Really flipping it on him. And we also seen Ilhan Omar get sprayed with a stinky substance. Comment down below what you think the sticky substance was or what you were hoping it was. Thank you for your time. And until next time, God bless you guys. This has been Unreasonable Clout Podcast. Thank you.